Like, what the is this movie about? What the movie about? After even taking notes and looking at my notes, I still don't know what this movie's about. Stupid Hubie. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Please, I beg you, don't do it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. Teach Film Preach, and today we're going to continue the trend of talking about Halloween movies, getting ready for October 31st, and today we are talking about Hubie Halloween. Hubie Halloween. Almost makes me want to cry. Hubie Halloween is a story of a man named Hubie living in Salem, Massachusetts, and he is the town idiot, the town joke, the town clown that everyone laughs at just because he's really kind to people and he cares about children and he is simple and partly intellectually challenged, and just because of that people hate him. And then things begin to go weird in the town. Some strange things start to happen. There's some like supernatural elements, we think. And he has a magical... He has a... I've had to record this 3 different times without laughing. Let's try again. He has a magical thermos that can do everything and anything you can possibly think of. He is a volunteer safety person who basically just goes around and makes sure everyone is safe and okay. And Hubie has to try and figure out the mystery and what is going on in his town. There's people disappearing, people getting taken away. There's creepy sounds and noises coming from his new neighbor. Suspects that there's possible like werewolves involved and stuff like that. And so Hubie is on the case. And that's pretty much the movie. He's nowhere nearly as charming or endearing as like Little Nicky or Bobby Boucher and the Waterboy or Billy Madison, but it also isn't greatly funny character either. You know, I get what they're trying to say about bullying and anti-bullying and stuff like that, but it doesn't work if your lead is not very likable or we don't know much about him and he's just sort of silly because it's Adam Sandler and he can be as silly as he wants and they'll make as many Netflix movies as they want with him. And you know what, I'm going to try and talk about the good stuff first. Let's talk about the things that I really liked about this movie. Ben Stiller's in the movie. That's not bad. It's a really funny cameo. I guess this isn't spoiling anything because it's at literally the very beginning of the movie. And Ben Stiller appears as his mustached guy caregiver from Happy Gilmore. And he makes a quick appearance in this movie. Same character, just in a different job. He's a security guy. And that was really funny. I actually really enjoyed that cameo. It was awesome to see Ben Stiller in that role again. And I don't know if him and Adam Sandler have done anything for quite some time together, but the Meyerowitz Stories, I think, is the last thing they did together a few years ago, and that was more of like a dark comedy. It wasn't even a full-blown comedy, so it was great to see Ben Stiller in just some ridiculous little bit part. That was awesome. Adam Sandler has a cameo galore of stars, of people who have both either been like in his past films or Happy Madison alumni, or it might be someone who has worked with previous films with Adam Sandler. Then there's the Saturday Night Live people, the SNL people. There's the Adam Sandler crew, the people that are very close-knit group with him that are almost in every single Adam Sandler movie. There was Shaquille O'Neal, Steve Buscemi, and Rob Schneider, and, Julie Bowen from Happy Gilmore, Maya Rudolph, and the list goes on and on. And so it's great to see like such a talented group of individuals. It's just too bad they're not in a better movie. A lot of callbacks to Sandler's past films. Some of the jokes actually do land in this movie and do work. Sometimes they're laugh out loud funny. I had genuinely some good chuckles in this film, and I was quite surprised at that. There's a gag in the film that was funny where there was just random like fruit and things thrown at Hubie as he was on his bicycle going through the town. People would just throw things randomly at him, but then there wouldn't be anyone on either side of the street. And I was like, where's all this fruit and these objects coming from that are being thrown at Hubie? And that's sort of the gag, is just like, I don't know, I guess just random things get thrown at him. And as ridiculous and stupid as it was, it worked in some ways, that they went that far and went ridiculous with it. June Squibb plays Hubie's mother in this film, and she's probably actually one of the best parts of the film. She's really funny, she's hilarious, her shirts, everything that just watch the movie. Everything that her shirts say, you'll get a good kick out of. They're really funny. It was great to see her in this kind of ridiculous role in an Adam Sandler flick. Who knew? June Squibb. Who knew? One of the funniest things in this movie, there's a scene where Hubie is having like a safety talk in front of the school, and there's a kid that has a mask on or some makeup on, and because it's Halloween, and he looks really scary to children, but not to any adult. But Hubie isn't really a full-grown adult mentally, and so when he sees the kid, there's like a real quick zoom on his face, and he goes, burn him, and actually was really funny. There was a great moment that, to me, that was the funniest moment in the movie, is when he's shouting burn him at a kid. I wish as a teacher, I wish I could shout at kids and say burn them. Maybe I should edit that out. There were some real good gags in the movie. There were some great lines sometimes. There was some great physical comedy. Yeah. And that's about it. Okay, let's talk about the things that I didn't think were so great about this film. Adam Sandler is a great actor. And if you need proof of that, look no further than Punch Drunk Love, Spanglish, Reign Over Me, Uncut Gems, Happy Gilmore, even. And he's great. He can be fantastic given the right script and the right role. He's amazing. Uncut Gems was for sure one of last year's most underrated films, and it got a lot of attention which was great, and a release on Netflix, and that was fantastic, and that's where everyone saw it, myself included. It's been proven that he's a great actor, even in his comedic roles when he's being really ridiculous, like Waterboy, Little Nicky, Billy Madsen. He does a great job. And even some of his later flicks like 50 First Dates and Click, he's still pretty good in that. I feel like the last 5, 6, 7 years even, Adam Sandler has not done the greatest work. And I'm not sure if it's just because him and Happy Madison Company think just because he's in it, it's going to make a lot of money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really need to be good. And that's the attitude that I sort of get from these films, and just as a general. So I just think it's a little bit of a cop-out just to rely solely on people loving Adam Sandler. There just feels like there should be more effort put into these films, and Hubie Halloween is no different than the last few, if we're looking at Just Go With It, The Ridiculous Six, or Sandy Wexler. He just hasn't really been able to tie in to something great comedically lately. And it's too bad, because I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. The script is a mess. The script makes no sense. I was sitting there the whole time going, what is happening here? I thought this movie was going to be an adventure, a mystery that he has to solve. It ends up being some sort of like psychological, ridiculous murder sort of mystery about a dysfunctional family. The whole movie is marketed and led us to believe it's going to be something about supernatural abilities, or a serial killer, or it's going to be about aliens, or it's going to be about werewolves, or a demonic presence, or something, or demons, and it's about none of that. And I don't want to get into what's going to be about, because that would be spoilers, but it was just very disappointing what it ended up being. I don't think this movie really knew and understood at its core what it really wanted to be about, except just to make a stupid, silly Halloween movie. And that's fine if that's the case, but at least execute it in a good way. but there was no story. The female lead and Hubie, that their connection made no sense whatsoever, and it was terrible chemistry between the two of them. Just no effort being put in here. You could tell. It was very apparent. I like artists who actually put effort and love and desire and blood, sweat, and tears into their things. I'm not saying that people didn't work hard on this film, but it felt like they just really didn't want to create something great. It was just a kind of a one-off film again. Hey, let's just do another movie. But I actually want to say something about it. I know they tried to make this movie about like anti-bullying, that just because people are different, we shouldn't make fun of them. Man, that's been so overdone. That's been and done so much better than what's being displayed here. And as a Halloween film, it's not even scary. There's not even a scary part in it. There's like two okay twists in the movie, and that's about it. It's just a bunch of random gags with a bunch of Adam Sandler friends of his that are just putting on sketch comedy. It felt like the bunch of sketches strewn together to kind of make a Halloween film. And it was weak. It was too bad because I really wanted to enjoy it, especially as an Adam Sandler fan, and especially as someone who loves Halloween and loves scary movies. I thought this was a movie for kids. I really did. I even asked my wife a quarter way through the movie, I went, who's this movie for? Is this being made for adults or kids? I'm not sure. I don't know. And we were confused all the way till the end of the movie. We still don't know because it's made like a kid's movie. It's got the tone of a kid's movie, and it's got the jokes sometimes like a kid's movie, but then there's some really inappropriate, really messed up, really dark, strange things. Like, this is not a PG film at times because of some of the jokes and some of the humor and innuendo that they do. I'm like, what? Like, I can't believe that, this was being marketed as a kid's movie. But in some ways it is a kid's movie. So I didn't know who this movie was for. I didn't know who it was being made for. I don't think they did either. Like I said earlier, some of the jokes in this movie land, but a lot of them don't. I would say it's about 30-70. 30% land, 70% don't. Some of them are just outright dumb and not even funny dumb. Some of them are just make no sense. Some of them are just really disturbing. It's a strange mix. I don't think the movie knew its tone and what it wanted to achieve with itself as a film. There's even a weak camera lens point where the actor looks directly in the camera, and not on purpose. The director, photographer, or the editors, like, no one caught it. No one saw it, or they did, and they just went, leave it in there. Because that's what it felt like. Because I thought maybe at first I was over-exaggerating, or maybe I just saw it. But no, it's there. That's terrible, man. Horrible. And it doesn't make sense. It's not like, it's not like House of Cards or Deadpool, where they do look directly in the camera, and that's all the whole thing. That's a part of the shtick. That's part of the appeal, the charm of the film or the TV show. In this movie, that's not supposed to be in it. Big mistake. Really, some strange filmmaking choices that they did, and you're led to believe that it's about creatures and aliens and some mysterious things and some supernatural things happen, but it's never explained. What? It makes no sense. Zero sense. Great. Thank you guys for making a cohesive and great movie. Beautiful. Thanks. I was confused as hell about Hubie. Is he just a slow person? Does he have just a speech impediment? Is he mentally or intellectually disabled? Is he an individual with autism, or like, I don't know. But they, like, even at one point, Julie Bowen, his love interest, is like, oh, Hubie is a stud. Now, guys, I'm not saying that people who have intellectual problems or individuals with autism or anything like that, they can't be good looking or sexy or anything. I'm not saying that. But the way they did Adam Sandler's character, and the way that they made him almost like a child, it was just weird that she was so sexually attractive to him. It bizarre, strange. It just is. You have to see it for me for you to really understand what I'm talking about. But just, you're warned when going into this film. This woman, like, loves Hubie. And it's weird. There's a lot of characters in this movie that just show up. They just show up. They're here and they make some jokes and then they go. And that's it. There's no sort of like any urgency or any risk being done with these characters, or even if they get killed off or taken away or disappear, like, you don't really care. Like, there's not a character in this movie that I really actually was on their side with. I was kind of hoping that they would get kidnapped or taken away or killed. Like, I was hoping for something crazy to happen, like a werewolf bites their head off. There was a lot of misleading in this movie. We were led to believe that there was a werewolf, that we were led to believe there was some sort of like alien, strange something happening here. And it never comes out. It never happens. And it averts our expectations, but to a fault, like really poorly. They should have just given us what we wanted, which was a monster, horror, scary, sort of fun adventure Halloween film. And that's not what we were given at all. That was not what was delivered to us. And talking about the jokes in this movie, at one point, like, people shout, like, kill him! Like, they're talking about Hubie, Adam Sandler, and they're like, kill him! Beat him with a tire iron! Beat him to death with a tire iron! This is a kid's movie? Huh? No, Adam Sandler. Just no. I'm gonna take that thermos of his and chuck it off a cliff. What is with this thermos? It's never explained. How can his thermos be a flashlight, a torch, a knife, a grappling hook? Like, it's all these things. And I guess that's a thing. Thermoses can do this. I want one of those thermoses. That looks amazing. What, huh? Oh, the thermos thing bugged me so much in this film. Nothing's ever explained in this movie, and you're just supposed to just like laugh along at the stupid fart jokes and ha ha ha. Oh, it's a disaster, you guys. It's a disaster. Like, what the is this movie about? What the is this movie about? Honestly, the overall problem is that there was no effort or care really given into this movie besides, let's just make a fun Halloween kind of kids movie, but not really. It didn't work. I thought it was really weak. Yes, there was a few laughing parts, there was a few funny moments, but overall, it was just really poorly done. I would not recommend this movie. I would watch it just so you can have a good laugh at it. And if you're like a diehard Adam Sandler, you just like need to see all his stuff, great. And some of them movies that I do review, I know that are bad and I will review them. But I hope my children never have to go through something like this. It was painful. If you're going to make something that is in that genre, make it really fun, make it really original, make it something intense or something really goofy. If you can just go into this film and just shut your brain off and enjoy it for what it is, good for you. I can usually do that with most films, but I'm getting kind of just sick of it now. I'm going to go ahead and give Hubie Halloween my first D.
No! No!
No!
No!
No! No! No, 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 no!
No! No!
Yes, usually these D films are some movie that's very forgetful, and that's what Hubie Halloween is. It's very forgetful. I even had a hard time. I watched it 2 days ago. Even today, as I'm filming this, I had a hard time remembering. Thank God I took notes and I actually wrote some of that stuff down, because otherwise this review would be 30 seconds long. I'd rather a film hit the F category, because then at least it's so bad and brutal that it's almost funny and enjoyable to watch. It's not bad enough of a film to like love watch it, you know? Some movies that you just like love to watch because it's so bad, but it's still enjoyable. This wasn't even enjoyable, and that's almost worse. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you like that, please click right here, subscribe, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment down below what you guys think of Hubie Halloween. Maybe I'm being oversensitive about the Adam Sandler thing, and I need to chill. It deserves their D grade. So have a great and happy Halloween, everyone, and look forward to seeing you guys again. Check out some other Halloween videos that I'll be posting throughout the next few weeks here, leading up to October 31st. Have a great day, and as always, let's get Todd.